of you guys have probably met her at the Camp Variety Store, Brent's Variety, but we would just like to give her a special welcome as our new hire for town clerk. We had some really good candidates, and Diane was the best. So we're really proud to have her on board. Thank you. As you guys know, we nominated Sumner to be our interim clerk, and Susan Strout has been working with her and assisting her, and they've teamed up to help with the transition and to mentor Diane in her new position. And it sounds like the transition is going really well. So we are very thankful. Okay, who's got the copy of the minutes from November 14th?
I guess I do. Those were mine.
Okay. Do you want to read these, Jesse?
Town of Sumner Select Board agenda, November 14th, 2023. Select Board meeting was called to order at 6:15 p.m. Pledge of allegiance. Members present: Joel Chapman, Jesse Wallingford, Bill Savage was absent. Public present: Stacy Wallingford, Amy Corson, Marcia Turcott, Susan Strout, Deb Freno, Hank Phillips, Terry Phillips, Karen Dan, Kristen Chapman, Jeffrey Kuhn, Richard Estes, Wally Litchfield, Mark Silber, Douglas Fournier, Brian Bullocks, Gail Eastman. There was no report from RSU 10, nothing from Fred Collins. Roads report: Sean Corson, lots of brush cutting, complaints about the culvert on Fields Hill, DeCosta Road crossing related to a temporary fix. This is not a bridge, but a culvert crossing. Corson is waiting to hear from DOT about the timing. Permanent repair. The payments from FEMA are currently being paid for a prior situation. ACO, Sean Corson, complaints about a barking dog on Rosenberg Road. Fire department report: Doug Fournier. There is a new monitor in the fire department, so the department can see who is responding to all the fire calls, which is that screen right in the corner over there. The planning board chair has resigned. Planning board vacancies need to be filled. Question about the qualifications of the planning board members, and if Fred Collins has an appointment that continues. Old business: CV grants to be updated by Marion Haxton, who can attend this evening. Plowing bid is still open and applications are being accepted. Sherry Sullivan has resigned as town clerk. Chapman wishes her well in her future endeavors. Susan Runes has agreed to be interim town clerk. While that position is being filled, Susan Strout has volunteered to return during this interim period as an office assistant. Mark Silver has volunteered to create a newsletter. If information is forwarded to him, he will compile and provide it for the website. Teresa Phillips brought up concerns of getting IT people into the office to help with issues that prevent functions from being completed. The issues will be sorted out by office staff to see what types of IT help is needed. Hank Phillips asked if there were changes in the budget in response to the vote at the town meeting to make the budget LD1 compliant. Phillips asked if the changes have been communicated to the public. The budget on the town website should reflect the changes. The resident asked if the warrant information is going to be discussed. Sullivan retrieved and the information. Wallingford read the list of expenses being paid on the warrant. These expenses included ground maintenance, cemetery, lawn maintenance, fire department stipends, expenses, legal expenses, general operations, clerk insurance, roads, maintenance, RSU payment, health insurance, winter road sand, FICA and Medicare, motor vehicle expenses, winter road plowing. Philip suggested it would be helpful to have the warrant information summarized and distributed to those attending the meeting. The select board then entered executive session on personnel matters at 6:41. After the executive session ended, the select board meeting was adjourned at 8:12 p.m. Upcoming events: Lights for Love, Saturday, November 9th, 4:30 to 6:30, Sumner Ladies Fire Department Auxiliary. Planning Board Workshop, Wednesday, December 6th, via Zoom. That is an MMA workshop, if I'm not mistaken. And the office staff will be training in a vital records on December 5th and 6th. And the motion to adjourn.
Any amendments to the minutes as read? Okay, I have no amendments. I make a motion to accept the minutes for November 14th, 2023 as read.
Second.
All in favor? Minutes accepted. Quick note, we do have a summary of tonight's warrant that Sue put together, so if anyone does want to collect those summaries, we can certainly give you a copy.
You know, I was saying, as Jesse was reading the minutes, if people are interested in that summary, we put all this printed on the back side of the agenda. I mean, that's pretty easy to do too.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
I like it. I second.
All those in favor?
Note to sprout.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. Alrighty. We have looked at warrant number 9 today and gone over the details of it, which includes checks 15,178 through 15,191. The warrant totals $67,000 and $67,091.02. The summary of that is we spent $99 on building and grounds, $5,092 on salaries and stipends, $1,191 on office expenses, $1,028 on 2022 income tax withholdings, $4,540 on motor vehicle registration and titles, $62 on recreation, $3,650 on roads and bridges, inland fisheries and wildlife fees, $736, and $50,690 on this installment for our winter roads and plowing contract. Our total receipts for 2023 to 2024 is $441,310, which is 28% of taxes. Okay. At this time, we'll have open session. If there's any topics that you would like to discuss, if you could just stand up and state your name and what you would like to talk about, and we will record that in order for discussion at the end. Anyone? Bueller? All right, moving on. We are still looking for a Sumner representative for RSU 10, so if you know of anyone that has a vested interest in the school system that the majority of our town's tax money goes to, and would like to represent our town, please come forward and volunteer. Okay, roads report. Sean.
Okay, so, the last, meeting, McNeil had stated that he had called the DOT and the DEP on, the culvert replacement on the Paris Line Road. I have got information back from the DOT and the DEP. Everything is all set. They realize it's a temporary bridge, temporary culvert crossing. And all we have to do is fill out paperwork and try to get some money, get a bond or whatever we can do to get it replaced right. A grant, yep. And that's about it on that. Everything's good, it's open and people are using it. That's it on the roads.
Okay. Fire department report. Doug.
Not really a whole lot going on. We did the parade in Norway on Saturday, that turned out pretty good.
Sorry. Louder, please.
We did the parade in Norway on Saturday, that turned out pretty good, the Christmas parade. Trucks, the stickers went out at the end of this month, so we really gotta get on board with that. Got a quote for the tires for $1,500 just to replace these 4. We talked to Jesse about a prepaid credit card, so you can purchase other things that we need.
Yeah, I apologize, I dropped the ball with that one. Did you get any other quotes on tires? I know Brian said he was gonna.
Joel tire was like 2,200, Stratum tire in Auburn is 1,500. So
That's per tire?
that's 4 tires.
4 tires, okay. So do you know you're gonna use
Yeah, we're gonna use Stratum.
Stratum?
Dick, if you have prices on the equipment that you need, rather than doing a credit card, we could do some sort of invoice and we could just pay it.
And we have like stuff,
Yeah, that's what we
Like
talked
the
about
smaller
for the
items?
tires. He's looking for a way to be able to purchase small items, like one of those batteries.
we need like AED batteries,
From
seat
where,
covers.
we used to open charge accounts for the fire department. If that works for you, then,
Whatever works.
well, it might be easier for you than having the burden of a credit card that you have to hold on to and be careful to whom you give it. If we can work something out that you can just get approval, go charge it, and sign off on the invoice. We can work with you if that's what works best for you.
Yeah.
I also have a folder of things for you.
So can you get us a copy of that invoice for the tires and get that scheduled? So then that can get
You
On the
need
next
invoice
one.
before we do it, or,
the estimate, right?
oh, you didn't send me a written, I thought you wanted to.
Okay.
I could probably get you a written, if you need one.
If you didn't have that, how would you pay for it? I mean, how are you gonna buy your
That's what I
time?
was getting at.
I'm sorry?
That's what I was getting at.
So we'd need
Right,
we'd need a written estimate so we'd know how much to make the warrant of checkout so we could pay to have it done.
but we can make that work, exactly. If we know how much it is, we can put it on the warrant and give you a check.
Right,
Tax exempt.
that's what it covers the pricing, so.
Cool. Mr. Estes.
Yeah,
They ought to take and check around and see if they can put some of these tires out to bid instead of letting the tire company have them. You know, 'cause a lot of these tires are in real good shape and everything. A lot of these guys running dump trucks and stuff, and pulp trucks run the same size tire. So they could get a fairly good amount of money out of them tires.
You just don't get these recap?
You can.
The date on like 20
You
something.
can't have recaps on tires.
I'm sure that,
Most tires out there well over 20 years old, so.
Wally?
Yeah, my own comment was the same thing of the tires. They may not good for public use, fire department use, but a lot of these small truck, plow companies and stuff would buy these tires at a reasonable price. They might be able to recoup some of your money.
at least not have to pay to get rid of them.
Yeah, right. Second thing, we used to, like Sue said, just, if you get your bills, submit them, and by the next time, within the next 2 weeks, the bill's paid, and a lot of companies will go that way, and they're perfectly willing to go that way. So you don't really need a credit card, I don't think. That's it.
Thank you, Wally. All right. Code Enforcement Officer Fred Collins. Fred, would you stand up for just a minute?
Certainly will. A lot of people don't know me because they don't have a reason to have me come and inspect their septic system or have some sort of complaint, but it happens a lot. Whether you need me for tree service, looking at trees, deciding whether they need to be cut down, or septic system installation, or internal plumbing. I can tell you that there's a great deal that goes on in the code enforcement department, and sometimes it can be challenging. So I've been in the code enforcement for a little over 10 years, only worked in this town for, what, 3 years, 4 years? Susan, you might know better.
4 or 5.
Right there, yeah. And it's a part-time, and I'm here to help out any way I can. I try to keep most towns out of trouble from any kind of lawsuits, and that can be a challenge too, so. Anytime you have questions, feel free to give me a call. That's it for me.
Awesome. I've got one to give you after the,
Okay.
after the meeting. I just started on one this morning. So, thank you, Fred. Thank you for coming this evening. Did anyone have any, while we have him, did anyone have any specific questions for Fred that you may want to ask? Okay.
I guess I do. If residents have questions, would you rather phone calls or emails or?
Lately, it's just been phone calls.
Okay.
Sometimes if it needs to be a technical and we need to keep record of it, an email is the best way to go.
So maybe an email follow-up in those.
That's correct, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Can we have your email address?
You sure can. You want it now?
Yes, please.
Okay, F is in Fred, S is in Sam, C is in cat, 6256@yahoo.com. And my phone number, my personal cell, so use it sparingly, please. 890-6256.
And his phone number's on the website.
All right, awesome. Okay, at this point, we're gonna open the plow bid envelopes and, yes.
All right, Susan, did you want that, the department authorization to come in? Sure.
Thank you.
What Susan's talking about is we're asking that all invoices and payroll be given to us either at the end of the day on Thursday or first thing Friday morning before the selectmen have a meeting so that we can get the warrant done on Friday. Trying to get a warrant redone on a Tuesday gets to be a little crazy with everything that's going on. So we would ask for those bills then. We'll work on the warrant. Hopefully it'll be done by Friday night. If not, we'll come in and do it on the weekend so that the selectmen have the opportunity to come in when the office is closed, go through the warrant, match it to the bills, and then you're not so pressured the night of a selectmen's meeting to do all of this. And if you have questions, you'll have the opportunity to ask ahead of time.
Appreciate it.
Okay. I'll write them in that. You wanna pass that over to Sean? All right.
What do we have?
Looks like we got 3 of them. One's sealed up really good. Okay. Okay. This one is for, bid from Johnson Excavation. $6,300 per year for the next 3 winters. November 28th, 2023 until June 2026. Okay. This one is from Bill Goslin, Black Mountain Brothers. Good. This bid is for $11,500. That total amount is per season, subdivided equally and paid each month of December, January, February, March, and April upon receipt of an invoice. And they outline all of the requirements that were put forth in the bid. And how they would accomplish that. And they also, one of the things that they add to their bid is moving snowbanks at the request of the board at a rate of 120 per hour. And they included their insurance bid. Let you guys read the- I'll go first. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is from New England Custom Builders, Andrew Whitson. The bid is for $9,200 per year for $27,600 total. And they also outline in the terms their ability to perform all the duties requested in the bid. Start on that one.
Question?
Yes.
Goslin mentioned covering his insurance is included and asking for additional for snowbanks for the other two bids, reference insurance and anything about snow.
So the quote from Johnson Excavation did not include their insurance, so we would have to contact them and ensure that they are indeed insured, which, I mean, I guess we know they are because they had to prove that to bid on the town, so. Wixon did not provide a copy of the insurance, but did state that he is insured.
So the bid did ask, does the bid requirements say that they were to be responsible for pushing back snowbank?
Yeah,
Per our request,
per request.
and a minimum of $1 million liability insurance.
I'll let you guys digest that. Bill, questions, comments, considerations?
It's quite a difference in,
Yeah.
you know, I know Jeremy personally, I know, I don't know Phil Gosling, but, I met Mr. Whitson, and, I'd say for the $6,300 a year, we're in pretty good shape. I think that's how I would vote. unedited to Jeremy Johnson, whatever that company name I don't have.
Johnson Excavation.
Johnson Excavation for an amount of $6,300 a year for 3 years.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. Okay, Harvest Hills Animal Shelter Agreement. One of the things I realized that we left out, Sean, was your animal control officer report. So, if you have anything to report as ACO, and if you want to explain this animal shelter agreement and your thoughts, questions, comments on that.
Yeah, I've gotta read it over some more.
Sure.
Yeah, just after hours, it's gotta go all the way to Portland, if they're not in. Cause they used to have an after-hour key, so they used to drop, you know, I could drop them off anytime. Yeah, I gotta read this over some more.
Certainly. Yep, take your time with that.
Yeah.
So,
And then I have to sign it, right, if I agree to it? Yes.
yeah, I think one of us has to sign it as well. Yes.
The cost of the shelter per year is $913 as a retainer.
As retained.
And I'm not sure if that addresses extra fees for cats. I haven't read it.
So that would just be to have the service and then anything that gets there.
Perhaps, we'd have to look at the agreement.
I haven't had a chance to read it.
Just a question, I think I mentioned this last time, have we look closer, for your sake, I don't know the relationship between the one in, on the Turner line that we used to use, Cozy Kennels, and there were others. There is, of course, Responsible Pet Care, I don't know what they do for you, and McKennels in Rumford.
One in Rumford, what's that called?
McKennels, McKennels. She's been in business for about 30 years, 25 to 30 years.
And would you say the one in,
Cozy Kennels, it's right there on 219.
okay, you said three of them, there's three of them.
And Responsible Pet Care, which is right there on High Street.
Yes. West Paris.
South Paris. It would just seem a whole lot better for you
Yeah,
if we could,
I got a problem.
tap into these for your sake.
Yeah, especially if I'm on Saturday, I gotta run all the way to Portland.
Or you
Yeah.
keep the animal for yourself, so.
There you go.
That's probably what I would recommend. Depending on, I guess, what the animal is.
It might, if it ain't sick,
Yeah, I think before we sign off on that,
Yeah,
I think it's time for us to
yeah,
revisit something.
yes, and I'll call these and see what their prices are. Yeah,
I've done trees before for the Cozy Kennels people, and it looks like they have a pretty good setup
Yep,
there as
okay.
far as the amount of space that they have. I have no idea what their thoughts on,
taking out.
or what their fees would be.
Can I add anything more?
Yes,
We did have an agreement with Cozy Kennels at one point, and we were told they were not interested in that anymore. Time has passed, things may be different, but we did have a
Yeah.
relationship. And then Responsible Pet Care was between them and now, and they told us they just did not have the facilities to take on another, or to keep, we were with them, to keep going, they were kicking us out.
Okay.
Again, time
I'll just
may
make a
have,
phone call and see.
time may have changed, but I mean, both relationships worked fine. It was just their capacity and ability to handle another small town.
Okay.
okay. I asked Susan Runez if she would speak to the Logano reevaluation contract and the application for municipal reimbursement for tax stabilization. So So you have the floor.
Sure, I didn't know I was speaking to the contract, but okay. We've been saving money for the last 10 years for a full-time reval. We've got $100,000 in the account, and his bid came in at $92,250. We're planning on finishing, or he's planning on finishing the total town reval by fall of next year, so that when we send out tax bills in October, they'll reflect the new values. Obviously, the budget determine and the time value determine what the mill rate will be. As far as the tax stabilization, that's the program that the state initiated this year for anyone 65 or older who might have applied since last December to keep this year's tax amount the same as last year's. It's a one-year deal. The town decided, the state, decided it was way too expensive, that the amount of reimbursement was going to way exceed any budgeted amount. But what we should be getting from the state in the reimbursement is $7,400. So that should be coming in a little while. O'Donnell's just filled paperwork out, mailed that out a few weeks ago. So it'll be a little while before we get reimbursed, but that's what the stabilization is. It was stabilizing taxes for 1 year.
Yes, Karen.
So there is a thing on the state of Maine, can't remember the official name, for pretty high income, you can qualify to get a refund on the state of Maine, even if you don't have to file a federal. There is some money that can be refunded on the state of Maine because of real estate taxes. That's a thing that I always ask for, Sue.
I think, Frank?
That's that thing that I always ask for the first 10
Sure.
acres.
Is that something that would be helpful to reference somewhere on the website for folks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like-
Because there's still people that don't know about it.
Or is it
Yeah.
FYI for the website?
Yep.
Mary Ann, did you have any updates?
Yes, I do. I came in this morning, mentioned to the staff that we were trying to get more information about the resiliency project. So I made phone calls this afternoon. Did not hear back from Matra, which is the insulation group. The lighting is gonna be done by Don Berry. But Echo Heat called back, and there, as I had said, one of the times I made another report, that their schedule to do install was to start tomorrow. And they are still on that. They are planning to arrive at 8:30 whenever the office opens, and expect this week and a couple of days next week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, during office hours, to do the installation of heat pumps, do all that work. They don't need a contract from us because the majority, all but $9,000 of the money that they're gonna get for that installation comes through Efficiency Maine, and they'll take care of that paperwork. And then when they're done, they'll submit an invoice to us, and then we'll pay it. We had hoped that the money from the state would be in our hands before we started work, but I think this is money that's guaranteed. There's been no question ever from the towns that have had this resource before, not getting the funds, so I'm assuming, well, I hope that the funds will come. And then we'll be putting out monies for just the 9,000 and change for the balance of that installation. When I hear back on the installation side, they're probably gonna wanna come out and just kinda do a review of what they had proposed. And then that discussion, I think, was their hope was mid-December, that they would be doing that part of the installation.
So will we be reimbursed that 9,000?
That's in the grant, yes. That money, we aren't paying for it.
Okay.
We're hoping that the money from the state will be in our hands before his invoices. And we can probably work with them so that when those funds are available, they'll pay for it.
Thank you.
And then the same thing for the, whatever insulation project, that's all money that's within the grant. And then the electrical lighting is with Don Berry, and I talked with him today, and he's ready to work probably either in December or January to get that. And then the fourth project was replacing refrigerators, which we can deal when we get everything else done.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Whatever we need, whether it's toilet paper, paper towels, or a ream of coffee paper, pens, those kinds of things that are inherent in running an office without having to wait through the whole warrant process. I mean, the bill will be on the warrant before anything is paid, but she'll be given the authority to buy what's needed as it's needed, rather than going for reimbursement. It gets tough when you're constantly asking for reimbursement. Payroll company, okay. Is that next on the agenda?
Yes, yes, it
Okay.
is.
We've been looking into the idea of having a payroll company take care of the town's payroll. I believe Sherry had started looking at it when we were doing it. We're finding that it will be beneficial to us, and in the long run, it will cost us less than if we're hiring our auditor to do W-2s, 1099s, and then fill out that end of year paperwork. We would be submitting hourly wages or weekly wages, in this case every 2 weeks. We've talked to them about doing those people who get paid every 2 weeks, monthly stipends, the quarterly stipends, that kind of stuff. I think there may be some paperwork here. Did I get it?
Yes,
Did I take it
yep.
back? It'd be about $2,000 for the year to take care of all of the reporting, all of the filing, and payroll. Particularly if we're doing it through direct deposit to employees' bank accounts, rather than giving the employee a check. It's much more cost effective for the town if we go in that direction.
Okay, one of the things
But we need your permission, we need your authority to pursue these things.
yeah, oh, yes, thanks for,
We need your okay.
So I would make a motion, well, we can do them separately. First of all, that we approve our clerk to get a credit card in the name of the town to make buying those miscellaneous items that come up spur of the moment.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor? All right. Credit card approved, okay. And then secondly, I would motion that we approve doing business with Payroll Management Incorporated to manage payroll for the town for estimated yearly total of $2,107 a year.
I second.
All in favor? Okay. All right. Next up, I just wanted to spread the word, and we'll try to get this up on the website as well, that we will be doing our policy discussion meetings on the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. We will not be doing the fourth Thursday of December because of Christmas, New Year, but otherwise our plan is second and fourth Thursdays at 6 p.m. Each month to discuss policy matters, right? Yes, go ahead.
Second Thursdays are our training week, just so you know.
I apologize, I didn't CC you on this too, but I did hit up Brian and just find out if there would be a conflict if we use the opposite classroom. So if that's gonna be a conflict, let me know and we'll change that up.
We'll work something out.
Okay, all right. Sorry, Doug.
That's all right.
And then, the next, new businesses, we're looking to rejuvenate a roads committee like we used to have. So we're looking for ideally for two types of people, really. One, people who are experienced in grant writing and that sort of thing, and then the other type of individuals we'd be looking for are people who have are knowledgeable about the roads, what it takes to build them, restore them, maintain them, etc. And once we have a collection of volunteers, we'll be looking to nominate some people to be on that committee. And I would just, I guess while I'm at it, I would add that one of the goals would be to work with the road commissioner to kind of establish a short-term and long-term plan that the town's looking at, and then periodically reevaluate what the priorities are, and that way, as we move from year to year and season to season, we just have a plan. There's a lot of questions that come up. A lot of roads are probably, I don't know, the second hottest topic in the town, and I think getting more people involved would help to answer other townspeople's questions as far as why the town wants to prioritize certain roads perhaps over others, and just give us more visibility on that overall. Did you want to add anything to that, guys?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I would just say that if we can have a roads committee, I know Bill Glass had mentioned one of the problems in the past has been that we switch road commissioners and then all of a sudden the whole plan changes. So every couple of years, 3 years, we could potentially have a different road commissioner, so then all of a sudden the plan changes. So if we had a roads committee and a longer term plan, maybe we could, with the road committee working with the road commissioner, regardless if it changes in midstream, we could still be working on that same plan. You know, it might need to be tweaked or a little bit or whatever when somebody, you know, if Sean doesn't decide to run again or whatever the case may be, but the plan can kind of stay somewhat in place, and then the road commission will have something to work with, and the town will be ultimately know what's actually going on, not if, you know, if you decide not to run again the next time, and then we got a new road commissioner and they come up with a whole new plan, the town has it in their mind that this is gonna go a certain way. So if we have a good committee, with a good plan, I think it'll help us stay on track moving forward, even if road commissioners change or anything like that. So that's all I have to add.
Upcoming events, which I do not know the details of. We have Lights for Love, Saturday, December 9th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to give us some details on that event?
It's the ladies auxiliary to the fire department, and we are raising money for the fire department by selling light bulbs that are going to be on the Christmas tree, and the tree lighting ceremony is on December 9th from 4:30 to 6:30. Everyone who has purchased a light bulb in honor or in memory of a loved one, those names will be read. In addition to that, there'll be free cookies and hot chocolate. Santa will be here, a photo booth will be set up, and there will also be soups for some small price. So last year it was a great turnout. This is our 4th year doing it, so we are collecting money through the end of the week. So if you know anybody you'd like to add to the list, you can see me, you can see Stacy, Sandra. I'm sure there's more people, but thank you.
Awesome, thank you, Mrs. Chapman. Okay, planning board training on December 5th and 6th.
And I think it's just the 5th. I think I got it. Just the 6th.
Just the 6th.
Got carried away there.
Okay, do we need to add any details to that, Marcia?
That's it.
You're registered.
Are you teachable?
Okay. Yes.
Is there another date coming up in December? Is the budget committee scheduled to meet in December? Still? Last I heard, they said the 7th, but that's why that's changed.
I think that was tentative before there was a change.
Or is it maybe in the way again?
I don't know, probably.
I will reach out to Bill and, whatever I find out, we'll make sure it gets put up on the town website.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what is happening.
I had a question of whether the budget committee.
Budget committee, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you.
That's okay. Your turn. Sorry.
And I overlooked to put the 2nd meeting of December on the agenda, since it's the 26th.
Sue spoke to that a little bit, so she covered that.
What did you make it clear that we're not meeting?
Oh, well.
I spoke to the agenda.
Yes,
I didn't
yes.
say words.
Yes, so, we are not planning on holding a second, select board meeting, in December for obvious holiday reasons, but we will be, going in as board members individually and, reviewing the warrant bills, for that time period and signing off on that. Office training on vital records, December 5th and 6th. Diane, I'm assuming,
I actually won't be here on the 6th.
okay.
Susan and I are gonna sign up
I'm
for
not
it.
gonna be here.
Oh, yes, you'll be on vacation.
Susan and I are gonna do a tag team.
It's a
Keeping Tony, I'm sorry?
Sorry, it's a Zoom training, so there's no reason for us not to continue to be open.
So we'll tag team it, we'll tag team people coming in and do what we can. We'll see if we're given the authority to do register motor vehicles or sell muzzle loader licenses. So far, we're not. So that's a Zoom, and then it's just talked about the motor vehicle registration, motor vehicle training class. It's not Zoom, it's in person.
Oh, that one's in person.
Tomorrow and Thursday, Diane and I will be with us.
That's right, I'm sorry.
To have any refrigerator magnets with the Grand Ole Opry.
Do they usually record again?
Something to add real quick. So I'm gonna throw this out here, then I'm just gonna back away, which I'm very good. But, we used to have a building maintenance manager, and then Laurie was picking up the duties of housekeeping until she had a leg injury, and then I was speaking with her today, and it sort of fell by the wayside and stuff. Well, anyway, my wife would be interested in being the building maintenance manager, and because of me sitting at this table, there's probably some sort of conflict, so I wanted just to put this out there, for discussion. And I'm sure she would be willing to set through a grueling interview process.
You mentioned the building maintenance manager, do you mean the cleaning person or the building maintenance manager?
Kind of both.
Well, both.
Pardon? Both.
Both,
Yep.
I think that, just anything that
They
needs to
work
be
hand in
addressed, I
hand.
can manage. If I can manage it, if I can't, then sub it out over the, keep on top of it, basically.
The stipend for that is really paid through the selectman's salary, so you'll have to work it out.
Okay.
Do we have a job description that would, because it would be a combination of the cleaning of the building and what was part of the portfolio for the select person? It would be helpful, I think, for you to have something that.
Well, I don't know if it would be the, there you get, it's sticky. Because I'd be willing to take on the building maintenance position, although my wife is the painter. I cannot be around paint.
You're welcome to allow her to volunteer.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I see where that conflict is coming in now, and it would just be just put it on as a cleaning person or whatever.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't personally have a problem with it.
Is there anyone out there that has a problem with it? I want to be sure that we're open and transparent.
Have we posted that in the past?
This is the first time.
What's the question, Marcia?
Have we posted that cleaning person in the past?
We put it on the board once when we weren't finding anybody.
Oftentimes, it was the secretary who would come in early and clean.
And
We
then
hired Michelle for a while.
If,
Yeah, I know.
The same person who cleaned the post office, same person who did some other, but I don't think we ever, not in my time, actually advertised for that position at all. We always found it in-house somehow.
Wally?
My recollection is that we had Michelle, or somebody mentioned her
So,
name. I think we had one other, used to come in and clean it, but it kind of fell by the wayside, and it's showing. And I think we need to bring back somebody to come in and clean up the town office. The issue of the town office and the dispatch area, which is pretty rough shape right now. So we need to bring them back.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
You might have to stay
Bring them back.
Yes, yes.
Just a suggestion that something the policy committee could maybe talk about at the next meeting and find out if you want to write up a job description for it and put it out there and post it. Is that maybe what we should be doing? I don't know.
I don't remember what the rate, what we used to pay, or how many hours a week it was.
We signed off on a warrant on that for the cleaning last time.
Does Lori remember?
It was $125. I don't
Which
remember. It was $125. It was on the
$125
last one.
that was per month, right?
I actually don't know what the period was. Yours? Yours was back there.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, go ahead. And that's fine, it's just, because she's been coming in and volunteering and doing it, and she said she didn't mind taking over.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I'm willing to do more than just clean, because when I walk in the front door and the posts are chipping, the paint's chipping, the back deck is chipping, I mean, it's not a big deal to scrape it down, get it freshened up, and keep it freshened up as needed going forward, and that's the type of thing I was thinking of when I volunteered, to do this, just to keep the whole place looking really presentable.
all right,
To
so-
match you guys. Great job.
All right, so I guess, all right, to put a summary on this, our, what we need to take for action is, I think we should look at this at our next policy meeting, and, we need to brainstorm a little bit what before we get to the policy meeting, collection of ideas for what that position would ideally look like, and get some more history on what it's looked like in the past. And,
That's the question, are we talking about an hourly wage, or are you offering to volunteer?
Whatever you wanna pay me.
Okay.
I just wanna help get the place presentable, and would it even, I'm a gardener too, so I could even put in some more, beautify the place a little bit.
Well,
Make
before
it
the
look-
selectmen got into the whole nepotism thing, I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, I don't,
Thank you.
I'm not asking for much, I just wanna help.
I like
and obviously, never hurts to cover our bases to reach out to MMA and just say, hey, this is what we're looking at. Correct. Yep. So we can do that as well. Okay, awesome. Thank you for volunteering that.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other business, questions from the public before we seal this up tonight? Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:06.
Second. All in favor? We adjourn. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Much appreciated.
What's that? I came in and read them earlier, but I didn't. What? Yeah, I